Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Clayton's Classroom, the first edition of 2015. Hope everyone had a great holiday. Tonight we have Clayton and we have Len Nelson. And I'd like to remind everybody tonight that you'll get all of your questions answered. To raise your hand, press star 2, and to talk, press star 7. And without further ado, let's introduce Clayton Nolte, the scientist, inventor of structured water. Take it away, Clayton.
Yeah.
Would you like to do a few words first, Len?
Well, I'm really happy to be here and working with Clay and his crew, and I enjoy it very much, and I appreciate being able to interact with all you folks out there. If you have questions, I'd be happy to address them and maybe be helpful to you.
You want to tell them what it's like to be in 38 below weather?
Oh, that. Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you, I think the last time I was on, I joked about permafrost, but I'll tell you what, and you know, Clay, what's so not so good about being here right now is there's no snow. And, you know, we were talking today about that. When you have snow and you have humidity in the winter when it's really cold, eventually that humidity ends up a lot of it into the snow. And it kind of makes the air drier and the cold not so tough to take. Well, there's no snow here, so it's tough. And then when you have wind chills like last night at 50, down to 50 below, it makes you wonder what you did with your summer wages.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. So do we want to just get into questions, or do you want me to say something about what structured water is? Do we have any?
Well, I'd like you to go ahead and say something about structured water. Let's start with something simple. The question: how does the structured water units work?
Wow, that's a deep.
Yeah. A deep.
Well, structured water, structuring water basically is organizing water, and how these units work is what we call a vortex. The water comes into the flow form, which is internal to a chamber. That all these things, the flow form, the chamber, are specific. Basically, that means that they are mathematically derived. So, coming into when water comes into, like, say, the portable or the house unit, doesn't matter which unit, the flow form creates a pathway for the water to spin, and that pathway creates the spin, and spin is to the left or to the right. Now, you could say it spins over the top and it spins over the bottom also. You know, but it is still a left spin and a right spin. It is the same, technology of nature. Nature has vortexes. Those vortexes show up in tornadoes and cyclones and weather patterns. So, if you ever look at the weather map when you're a high and a low, and a low causes the air to turn to the left, and a high causes the air to turn toward the right. And so, and these are, in a sense, vortexes. When they get really high speed and they're moving at a high rate of speed, it creates a tornado or cyclone, or however you want to put its weather. Okay, so we take that weather condition and expand it into a device that actually creates a vortex. That vortex goes to the right and to the left. And I'm going to give you an example here. If you were to stand up right now, put your arms out, and turn your body one time to the right, all the toxins in your body will start to dissipate. They will start going out through your armpits. They'll start going out through your skin. And primarily on most human bodies, they'll go out where you have had trauma. One turn. That's all it takes to start a detoxing condition in your body. So what's happening inside of these units, natural action technology units, is the water is spinning tens of thousands of times to the left and to the right. If you stand up and you turn your body to the left, all the toxins in your body will have to go out through your elimination system. It causes the toxins to go to the center. So, if you ever look at some of the devices out there and that claim structuring, look to see what the spin is. If the spin is to the left, then your body has to be functional enough to be able to move those toxins through your elimination system. What Natural Action Technologies does, the technology creates a spin both to the left and the right, balanced spin, basically allowing for an equal balance of how the toxins are released and inside your body and how they are eliminated. So they are eliminated in natural ways. One way is through your skin, which you sweat, and the toxins go out through your skin, and through your elimination system when you go to the bathroom. However, all these things are in balance. So when you get a portable unit or a house unit or an under the sink unit, and you start running water through it and start drinking it, you won't get what we would call a detox. Not normal. It's not normal to get a detox from Natural Action Technologies, basically because the quality of the water and the technology dictates a balanced energy, a balanced state for the water to be healthy. So when that water is spinning, again, one turn starts the detoxing. And again, you can do this anytime. You can do a turn. And if you look at the turn and Google it, you'll get into the whirling dervishes. They're in Turkey. And if you start looking into those technologies, it's an interesting world, because in many places where people do these, let's say these exercise of the turn or any of these other, even a lot of martial arts, not so much in this country, but there are countries that outlaw them. And sometime we can get into a discussion as to why. So here we go. Natural Action Technologies creates structured water units that make water healthy. In the simple terms, energetically all the toxins are neutralized, and energetically all the nutrients in the water or anything that you pass through it are made instantly available to the cellular level. So, and we can get into other questions, but basically how this works. The other really neat thing about the structured water is that one turn, or the multitudes of turns, creates an organization of the water, or let's say of the liquid. That organization creates a molecular change in the water, or all the materials that are in the water. And particularly the component, or let's say that is changed, is hydrogen. The hydrogen bond angle is changed. When the hydrogen bond angle is increased, it creates a tsunami of wonderment. It brings everything into alignment, into perfection. And I do mean everything. And when you get into looking at our website and hearing the testimonials, you will hear that, maybe not all on this call, but if you look back and monitor some of the other calls that we've been doing for the last 2-3 years. I don't even know how long we've been doing this every other week, but it's a library of information. So structuring again occurs through movement. The water comes through and moves and turns, and the turn creates a hydrogen bond angle change. Increasing the hydrogen bond angle makes the water more dense. It makes the water softer. It makes the water, the viscosity to go lower so that it can penetrate at the cellular level instantaneously. It can penetrate virtually everything instantaneously. If you use this to wash clothes or you use this to wash feathers, you will use less water. Everywhere this structured water goes, it reduces the need for water exponentially. So, some of the other things, let's see, I talked about density. Water is more dense. So, some people have measured the difference. The water is heavier when it's structured. The reason is because the molecular structure is identical. If you take a bag of marbles and they're all different sizes, you get less in the bag than you would if they're all the same size. So structuring creates harmony. Everything is the same size. And wherever the water goes, it changes everything in its path. So let's get on to the questions, unless you have something more to add to that. Anybody?
No, but I have one more quick one to spin at you, and that is, how much structured water do you need to drink per day? Would it be less than normal or tap water, or the same amount?
How much do you need per day? You know, there's a lot of formulas out there about how much water you should drink. To me, it is your body tells you what you need. If you listen to your body, if you do applied kinesiology, you can ask, how much water do I need today? And you can ask, you can have numbers, you can, I've seen such a magical journey with applied kinesiology. I mean, there's nothing that you can't find out by utilizing a tool that you have readily available to each and every one of you. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to spend any money. You can know absolutely perfectly what you need. And I'll tell you right now, that is the only way that you're going to know, because no one can truly tell you. Everybody's metabolism is different. Everybody's health condition is different. And in one day you may need 2 or 3 gallons. Another day you may not need anything, but your body will tell you. The key for each and every one of us is to have the consciousness to know what your body is saying. Ergo, structured water and structured air brings you into alignment with your consciousness, with your ability to know. So, here we go. I do not know for an individual what one would need, but I'll say this. Every study, every place that we've seen structured water go, there's a significant reduction in the need for water, whether it be on a plant, in a stockyard, for chickens, turkeys, everyone, the amount of water required is reduced significantly. So, and Len may have some more information on that, because he represents plants, trees, and he also